planty people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you're liking the content. Also, if you like the content at any point in time, you can always hit that thumbs up or thumbs down and let me know how the video's going, and maybe leave a comment if you like the video or if you didn't like the video, any suggestions, tips, tricks, anything. I am up for anything, honestly. Today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the current orchids that I have been collecting at the moment, and I am by no means, by zero means, an orchid aficionado, an orchid expert. Like, absolutely not. I'm just having fun. I'm just really enjoying orchids at the moment. I'm enjoying a lot of plants. I'm really enjoying anthurium, but you already saw my anthurium collection video, so there's that. Now it's time to give the orchids a little bit of time in the sunshine because they deserve it. I feel like they are very overlooked and underrated, and it's time to give them a shout out because they deserve it. They really do. I have only one orchid that is currently in bloom at the moment, and unfortunately it is not due to me. I just bought it and it was already in bloom. I have maybe like 10 or so orchids, give or take, and I can't wait to show you. I have several different species as well. So my first two orchids, I'm going to show you them both at the exact same time because I got them on the same day, and for the most part I think I'm going to try and show you guys the orchids in order of me obtaining them. Now I might screw it up and pick something before another one, but for the most part I'm going to try and keep them in order as to how I bought them, the order and timeline that I bought them. So here we go. The first two I have are just some Phalaenopsis. I have no idea what they are anymore because I bought them maybe a year and a half ago, give or take. I know that one of them's purple and I think one of them might be purple and white. I have no idea. I don't know what the species is, but I will tell you that I have learned a lot. I've learned a lot with these two orchids and how to take care of them, especially just Phalaenopsis. And I think the best way, if you're looking to get into orchids, is to probably go with a Phalaenopsis. Just like whenever you're trying to get into Hoyas, the best thing you should probably start with is like a Hoya carnosa or a Crimson Queen / Princess. Phalaenopsis is where you should probably start just to see if you like them or if you like the care and the care needs of orchids. Because originally I had these guys just potted up into some orchid bark and I wasn't watering them very often. And I was noticing that the leaves started wrinkling really severely and they weren't perking up. But since then, I repotted them into these pots, which, funny story is, I thought that along the way, I was going to transfer all of my orchids into these exact pots so that I could just have all my orchids in these special pots, but that would be a little pricey, and they actually take up quite a bit of room, and I don't know, after I've seen them on my windowsill, because that's where most of my orchids sit, I don't really know if I care for the aesthetic. So I learned that if I added some sphagnum around the roots, and I also have just a little bit of potting soil in their mix, it helps them retain a little bit of water, just long enough for them to for the roots to soak up some of that water, and they can keep on going. But these are my two Phalaenopsis. This is a new leaf on this guy. You can see it's sticking straight up. This guy hasn't had a new leaf in a little bit, but it is this one right here is its newest leaf, and he's doing pretty good. He's got roots coming out right there. This guy has roots coming out right here, and yeah, that's what they look like. Those are my two Phalaenopsis. I enjoy them. I can't wait for them to bloom for me one day. I can't wait for all of my orchids to bloom for me one day. That would be magnificent. So the next orchid I got, you might have seen on a previous video of mine, is this Dendrobium spectable. I think this guy is so unique looking and so like fun. I don't know why, he just makes me think of something that you would see like along like a creek riverbed. I don't know why that just sounds like where I would find this, but it's but I think he's so cool. The leaves are different. I like the chunky stalks. They're pretty unique in their own way. And also, it's got this new growth point coming in, and that's how you know that you're doing something good, is whenever you see new growth and you see new roots. I will recommend, if you are starting out with orchids and you're buying them from Home Depot or Lowe's, where, you know, genuinely the care isn't gonna be as high quality as like if you're going to an actual nursery where it's like family run, I would definitely recommend going ahead and immediately repotting them, looking thoroughly through the roots, because a lot of the times most of those roots in there are dead, and you want to get rid of those dead roots immediately because you don't want it to spread all the way up to the plant. And I've had to do that with several of my orchids because most of mine, I'd say a good like 80% of my orchids have come from Home Depot and Lowe's, because I have here in Florida, I have sections that are more exotic orchids, and I feel a little spoiled. I feel a little spoiled in that aspect, but you know, it is what it is. But I think this guy is really cool. A lot of the times whenever I am picking out the orchids that I want, whenever I'm at Home Depot or Lowe's, I like to look at the flowers, and I look for really unique flowers. I can't remember off the top of my head what the flowers looks like on this guy. That is my one and only Dendrobium, I do believe. Yeah, I think he's the only one that I have. Okay, so this is my next orchid. He looks like a freaking onion with that base. I just think he's so cool and unique, and he's just so fun. It's almost very like Oddish like from Pokemon. The name on the tag is very funny. It is called EPI Rio Clarence Brown. I think that the blooms on this were very interesting and unique as well. Maybe they had some brown/maroon leaves. This guy has been very happy. He is definitely less thirsty than most of my orchids, and I do believe it's because of the big chunky base that he has. Probably stores a lot of water down there. He hasn't given me any issues whatsoever. I repotted him in the exact same way that I repotted my other ones, with some sphagnum and orchid bark and a little bit of soil, just so we can retain a little bit of extra moisture. He's really cool. At the exact same time, let me put this in here so I don't lose it. At the exact same time, I also got this guy, which is a EPY, Serrana O'Neill, Mabel Conduct X. Oh my goodness, this is so hard to say sometimes. This is the name, so hopefully you guys can read it. I'm gonna leave it up there for a second. But that's what this guy is. Not really sure how well he's doing. He looks a little bit sun stressed, and he's also getting these black little bumps under him. I don't know if that's really bad. Like, do I need to cut the leaf off? I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research, or just ask my BFF Max and see if he has anything. This leaf also has a little bit of those spots too, but I don't see any pests. So I don't know if maybe he's just getting a little bit too much sun over in the windowsill, but I would think that the other ones would be feeling a little bit the same way. No new growth yet. He's not doing a whole lot for me. He's just kind of stagnant, which is okay. And these are the two that I got on that day. My next orchid that I'm about to show you, I literally like freaked out when I saw this in a Lowe's. I could not believe I found this in a Lowe's. As soon as I saw it, I was immediately like, oh, I gotta call Ashley. I gotta let my plant friends know that these are showing up at Lowe's, because it was insane to me, because I've been wanting to find one of these, and it's easy to find them on Etsy or purchase them on Etsy or anything or anywhere online, but it's so much easier and preferable if you can get it in person. At least that's in my own opinion. And I really, really wanted a path. This guy is who I found. I think he's so pretty. His leaves, his foliage is so cool and like peacock-like for some reason. I think he's actually getting ready to lose this leaf, which is quite unfortunate. I just chopped off his flower spike right there because it was all dried up and ready to go. He had that flower for a good while. If you're looking for a good video to watch where I found this guy, I actually did a video on it, and it was in the video where I was hunting for sport or variegated monstera in tons and tons of big box stores, and I just so happened to stumble across these guys. They had like 10 or 15 of them out there, and I didn't have a ton of money or else I would have gotten so many more, but I just thought that he was so cool. This one is I'm just gonna show you the tags because honestly I cannot do these names justice. Like I can't pronounce them the best way, but he's potted up into some sphagnum moss, and I think this type likes to be a little bit more on the moist side. Yeah, he's got these really cool like purple veins down the leaves, which I think is really nice, and it shows it on the back as well. I just think that this is such a unique orchid, and I don't know why more people don't have these or are excited about them. I just think they're so cool and fun, and yeah, I can't wait to see more blooms. The bloom on this one was so ridiculously pretty. It was like this deep dark plum color, and it was just to die for. It was to die for, and these I'm gonna have more of these in my collection for sure. And the next one I got is a little bit of the same thing. I'm gonna show you the name again real quick. That is what this guy is. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And he is still in bloom. I got him at the exact same lows, but I got him several days afterwards because I wanted to get paid, and I wanted to go get another one and make for sure that I got another one. There were only a few of them left, so I'm glad that I went when I did. And I just think that he's so cool. Just look at that flower. That is so unique and just beautiful. The flower is actually fuzzy. I don't know if you can see the fuzz, but I just think that he's so cool. It makes me think of a pitcher plant, kind of, with this little guy right there. This is the foliage. Let me compare the foliage on my other one real quick. This is the difference in the two. Like I said, I think he's gonna lose a leaf or two on this one, which is really upsetting. But yeah, I just think that they're really unique and so fun and so beautiful. I could just stare at them all day. I used to not really look at my little orchid section that I had going on in my house, but now that I have like more varieties and more that I just really, really love and appreciate, I go over there and look at them every single day. Those are my two paths. I think they're so pretty and fun and unique, and I actually got them for $19, which I think is a really good price for this type of orchid because they're very unique and extraordinary. Okay, so the next orchid is kind of unique, but not unique in what it looks like at the moment, but it actually has green flowers. And green flowers, you'll look around, they're not very common, it seems, but this is I do believe it's a cattleya, although the tag ID doesn't really say anything about cattleya. Let me try to get it on there, but it even says green Qinghua, and I think that's just talking about the green foliage that it has. This guy is doing really, really well too because he has this nice new little growth point right there. Yeah, I just think that this is really cool and unique just because of the bloom. Like I said, some of them I pick out because of the blooms, some of them I pick out because of the foliage, and then some of them I kind of like a little bit of both. So on that same day, I picked up this big boy. Oh my gosh, he's so huge, and he's the only one that I have in straight up moss. This is his name. Apparently he is another spectable right there. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. But I picked this guy up mainly because he was really, really huge. If you guys might have this section in your Lowe's and Home Depot. I just can't remember from whenever I lived in Tennessee if we had this section or not. But there's a little section where they have orchids in little net, like they're in little nets. And that's where I get all of these like different types of orchids. And I think the small ones range from $7 or $8, and then the larger ones are like close to 20 bucks, but they're not quite 20 bucks. I think they're like 17. And that's what this guy was. And I have I have gotten other ones that were in that price range, and they're nowhere near the size of this dude. This dude be doing things. I haven't seen any like new growth that has arrived in my care since I've had this guy, but I just think he looks so cool. I'm excited to see like how he does in straight up moss, and it's kind of like a little experiment that I'm doing, and I can't wait to see some blooms. I just really can't wait to see some blooms on these orchids. It would just make my day. All right, and one of my last Lowe's/Home Depot orchids is going to be this guy. Hopefully you guys can see that. I think I got him just because of the blooms were supposed to be really fun. I think they're supposed to be purple with spots. I can't remember off the top of my head. I should really keep the photos so that it would be a little bit easier for me to remember exactly why I got the plant. I mean, I know in my head that more than likely I got it for two reasons. I like the foliage or I like the blooms. One or the other. Sometimes it's a combination of both, but it's usually one or the other. This guy's doing really good. He's got a nice new growth point. You can see his roots coming out right there. He's also in just my regular standard mix of orchid bark, sphagnum, and a little bit of potting soil. Yeah, that's really all I gotta say about that guy. So, I have only killed myself. I've only killed one of my orchids, which I actually still have his tag sitting on my windowsill so I can look at him and be reminded to do better. And this guy, I got him in this exact same time as another one, which arrived beautifully, but now he is deteriorating as well, and I'll show you him in here in a bit. But I bought this guy with Plant Me Ashley. We got little twins. Here is the name. Unfortunately, they decided to ship it like on Christmas Eve or just like a few days before Christmas. I mean, I did buy it a few days before Christmas, but I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, surely to goodness, they'll wait until Christmas is done and over with, and then they'll ship it. But no, they shipped it right in the middle of it, and this guy ended up sitting in shipping for over 2 weeks, and so he's just not doing very well. Oop, I lost some bark, but he was really pretty on the site. But yeah, he's not doing very well. I hope that he makes a little bit of a comeback because that would be fun, but I'm not really seeing it. His leaves are really wrinkly and really upset looking. They aren't falling off anymore because most of them did fall off, but I think that maybe he might be a little bit stable now. The packaging on this dude was absolutely horrendous, but I got two plants in the exact same order. This one was packaged horribly. My other one was packaged magnificently. So I don't know if I recommend the shop, and I'm not really gonna display where I got it just because I don't know how I feel about it. So that's this guy. He's all right. So the next one was the one that I got in the exact same order as that previous guy, and he is looking so bad, which is so unfortunate. He arrived and he looks so beautiful. He was like picture perfect, beautiful orchid. This is his name. He was a bulbophyllum. Hopefully you guys can see that. And the leaves were really pretty. They were really sturdy. They looked happy. This plant was so healthy, and literally within like 2 or 3 days of it being out in my house, the leaves just started dropping like flies. I feel like I might have messed up, and I watered him upon arrival because he was really light, and I thought that maybe he just needed a little bit of a drink, and maybe it was my fault. Maybe I just overwatered this guy, but all the leaves completely fell off, and now these little, I don't know what you would call those little shoots are turning yellow, and I think they're just gonna dry up, and I still have it out and about in my house hoping that maybe it'll recover. But I don't think that that's gonna happen, which is really unfortunate. I was really looking forward to this guy. I had him in my cart, on my Etsy cart for quite a while, and then it just so happened that one that Ashley was gonna buy was from the exact same shop, and I was like, oh well, I've had a few drinks and this guy's already been in my cart for a while now, so why not? And oh well, hopefully hopefully he makes a turnaround, but I don't think he's going to. I'm definitely very interested in purchasing another one of these. Bulbophyllums are one of my favorite types of species because I think they're so unique and so interesting looking to me, and I just think they're fun. And so this guy is my last and my favorite orchid that I have. I got him from New World Orchids. I really recommend this shop, especially if you're looking for smaller terrarium type of orchids. I think they have them for pretty good prices, especially whenever you compare them to like Etsy and eBay and all sorts of other places. I think that this was the cheapest shop for sure whenever I was looking for this specific bulbophyllum, because I was hunting for this guy. Blooms are supposed to be really stinky, but they look so fun and so pretty. They're like purple and fuzzy and they shoot out like, oh, I just think that they're so cool. This is a bulbophyllum there you go. Barigium? Barigium. Barbigerum. I could just sit here all day long and try and pronounce that, and I'll probably never get it right. But I just think he's so fun. He's so cool. I keep him in my little terrarium with my Darth. His leaves, his foliage needs to be cleaned off. I need to clean him off. And he definitely needs a drink, but the blooms on here are so tiny. He's doing really good too. He has this new little shoot here and a new little shoot here as well. I'm just so happy that he's doing okay because he's like my only like terrarium type of almost a begonia. He's like my only terrarium type of orchid, and I just want him to do good. He's my favorite, and I don't tell everybody else, but you are my favorite. I don't want them to just die on me, but you're my favorite. I love you. I think he's so cool. This was like the orchid that broke the camel's back for me. Like once I got this guy, it was just like, no, like get out of my way. I'm getting all the orchids. Nobody can stop me. But I think he's so pretty. He's so unique. I just love how bubbly the little, I don't even know the anatomy of an orchid. I really need to look that up. But I just think he's fun. And I think that you guys would enjoy bulbophyllums too if you were trying to get into a more different type of orchid species. But yeah, he's sitting on some cork with some fishing line wrapped around him. He's super fun. He's chill. He hangs out with the Darth. I mean, he's having a good time. Okay, so apparently this is going to turn into an unboxing as well. I got this orchid in the mail today, and I just filmed my orchid collection tour yesterday, so I was like, why not go ahead and add this in there really quick, and I figured I could unbox it with you guys. Okay, so this is how they packaged it. I don't know what that means, but maybe somebody in the comments does. This is so hard to do one-handed. Oh, by the way, this is like a tiny little baby orchid as well. Look how cute it is. Look how little. Let me put it in the light. Look how cute that little baby is. Oh, I love her. Oh, I wish it had a tag on it. That's unfortunate. Is this the name? That's why I don't even try to say the orchid names, because I can't even begin to like say them. I got this guy because I thought he was so cute and tiny on Etsy, and my friend Max Waters Too Much recommended him, and I'm just so excited to see what this guy does for me. He's just a little baby dude. Oh, I'm so happy to have him. Ooh. Okay guys, so that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would really appreciate it if you hit the like or the thumbs down button and let me know how you like the video. Let me know if you're into orchids. Let me know what your favorite orchid is at the moment, or let me know what your favorite plant is at the moment. And I'd love to hear it. I'd love to talk to you guys down in the comments, and I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye guys.